My reps were so nervous because it's such a big deal.
Can you believe that one of these actors is over double the age of her character? And did you know that Joe Keery was kicked out of the Stranger Things group chat for being too old? Join us as we shine a light on the truth.
It was a stupid idea. It was a really scary thing to attempt.
Number 1. He may be the cool big brother on Stranger Things, but not so much in real life. Joe Keery plays 16-year-old Steve, even while he's 26. And if you're wondering if his younger co-stars look up to him as much in real life as they do on screen, Joe revealed in an interview with Access Hollywood that many of the child stars keep in touch through a group chat, but that he was kicked out for being too old.
Yeah, we're too old for that. We got
Stop
excluded.
it.
Number 2. The youngest March sister wasn't all that young. Florence Pugh was cast to play 12-year-old Amy in Little Women when she was 22 in real life.
I can never go home again because I'm in such trouble.
Far from seeing this as a problem, Florence said in an interview with IndieWire, "We forget that Amy is in that sweet spot of nearly looking like an adult but being a total child. And I think every single woman has been in that situation where they are probably 12, but they could look 14, 15. Number 3. It was probably for the best that he was replaced by Tom Holland. Andrew Garfield was brought in to play 17-year-old Peter Parker for The Amazing Spider-Man when he was 27. And although the character's high school graduation in the sequel may suggest that he was 18, Andrew was actually 30 during filming. In fact, when he was approached to do Spider-Man No Way Home 8 years later, he almost turned it down because he thought,
I'm far too old to be playing Spider-Man now, but they asked me back, and it's the sweetest thing ever.
Number 4. Just because you've grown up doesn't mean you can't go to Hogwarts. Shirley Henderson was 36 years old when she portrayed the child ghost Moaning Myrtle on Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Who's Moaning Myrtle?
I'm Moaning Myrtle.
This was an intentional choice by the filmmakers, who felt that any aging the character did between films would be too obvious if she was meant to be a ghost. And so they thought that casting an adult with a more youthful look would provide a sense of agelessness when she returned in the Goblet of Fire. Number 5. Sometimes it's better not to ask questions. Apparently the creators of Never Have I Ever didn't even know Darren Barnet's real age when they cast him to play 16-year-old Paxton.
Paxton Hall Yoshida is our dream boat. Every teen show has to have one.
As co-creator Lang Fisher explained, you can't ask someone how old they are when they audition. You just have to assume that they're a reasonable age. It wasn't until they were already deep in the season that Darren revealed he was actually 28 years old, which Lang replied with, "Oh, okay." Number 6. It's getting harder to believe by the year. When Cole Sprouse was first brought in to play 16-year-old Jughead on Riverdale, he was 24. And while his character continues to be a sophomore, Cole is now 27. Still, he says that he's grateful for the role for being able to transform him into a leading man in his 20s, while moving away from his former Disney star image.
Now it's our turn. It's our time.
Number 7. Jughead isn't the only casting choice who's a little too old on Riverdale.
I look very young and I've been able to play very young, and it's great to have the opportunity.
Ashleigh Murray was 29 when she first took on the role of 16-year-old Josie McCoy, and she would continue to play her well into her 30s. Still, Ashleigh felt that she could relate to the character despite the age difference, saying, "I don't know how to explain it more than sometimes when you read a role and you know it's you." Number 8. Chase Stokes is the oldest actor playing a teen on Outer Banks. John B. might be 16 on the show, but in real life, Chase is actually 27. In fact, he even admitted that he didn't try as hard in the audition as he could have because, based on the description his manager had given him, he assumed that the show was Netflix's version of The Goonies. Being far too old for that, he thought he didn't even have a chance. That is, until he received the script.
And I was like, I've made a giant mistake. This is not The Goonies. It's literally not The Goonies.
Number 9. If you've read the books, you may remember Daenerys as being 13 years old. The Game of Thrones series on HBO decided to age her up to 15, although you may be forgiven for not noticing, considering the actress that was cast to play her, Emilia Clarke, was 24 when she filmed the first season. The show's creators explained how massive the role would have been to someone younger, stating, "Young actors aren't often asked to play a combination of Joan of Arc, Lawrence of Arabia, and Napoleon."
Khaleesi.
Okay, let's say it again, please.
Number 10. It's a pirate's life for Orlando Bloom. Although he and Keira Knightley were both playing 19-year-olds in the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, she was only 17 while he was actually 25. Funnily enough, though, over the course of sequels, Orlando actually would age alongside his character. In Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales, Will Turner is supposed to be 42, while Orlando Bloom was 40 at the time of filming.
Look at me, son.
Number 11. Did you know that Rachel McAdams originally wanted another role in Mean Girls? She may be the perfect Regina George.
I know, right?
But originally, she had her sights set on Lindsay Lohan's role. When director Mark Waters saw the 26-year-old actress's audition, he felt that she looked too mature to play the ingenue, but said, "I think it makes sense if Regina kind of grew up a little too fast," even though Regina is also supposed to be 16. Number 12. A younger look doesn't have to be a bad thing. Francia Raisa has spoken quite openly about how she struggles with how young she looks on camera, admitting that, "I obviously wanted to graduate into playing older roles." At the age of 29, she's still playing an 18-year-old on Grownish.
It sucks.
Though she's also said that she's learned to embrace her more youthful look and to appreciate that I'm able to participate in shows like Grownish because I do look so young. Number 13. Can you even imagine being in high school this long? Ross Butler was 27 when he was cast to play 17-year-old Zach on 13 Reasons Why.
Zach, are you coming?
No, I'm good, brother. Don't need it.
After 4 seasons, the then 30-year-old actor would say that he's ready to move on, stating that, "I've been growing out the facial hair, I'm ready to hang up all the jerseys and all the sports I've played in fake high schools." Since then, Ross has moved more into the production side of the industry, which is something he says he's always wanted to do. Number 14. Sometimes it's just part of the job. Although Bianca Lawson was 31 when she took on the role of 16-year-old Maya on Pretty Little Liars, she said that she didn't have too much of a problem being able to relate to her. The way she described it, she's always considered herself a good enough actress to be able to relate to any character, regardless of age, stating, "It's not necessarily the age of a character. I've done so many supernatural characters that were like 106 years old. You know what I mean?" Number 15. 16? As if. Stacey Dash was actually 28 when she played Cher's best friend Dion from Clueless.
Woman, why don't you be answering any of my pages?
I hate when you call me woman.
Stacey went on to joke about her age during a special screening of the movie in Los Angeles, ahead of its 20th anniversary, saying, "I was 27 and I was playing this high school student. I have a son at home who was 6 years old." Still, Stacey would go on to reprise the role throughout her 30s in the Clueless TV series that ran from 1996 to 1999. Which actors' real age were you most shocked by? And how well did you think they did in the roles? Don't forget to make your thoughts heard down in the comments.